What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Sporting. Today we have Benfica in the Taca de Portugal final. We have a chance to win back-to-back Taca de Portugals. Obviously, it's not a necessity, but I'd like to win every single competition I'm in. Originally, I planned on also including look through all the stats and a look through the data hub as well in this video, but ultimately, I decided I kind of wanted to save that for its own separate video. I thought it might make this one a little bit too long. So, go look through the stats, both the league and most importantly, the Champions League stats. And a look through the data hub is going to be next episode. We're going to make our decisions on where we need to improve because we are very close. We are very close to winning a Champions League, I believe. We made it to the semifinal and we were one goal away from sending Liverpool to extra time. So, we do need to make some changes, but I don't think the changes are super obvious as well. The obvious choice player that we really struggled this season was Hugo Souza, but I felt like he did a pretty decent job in the Champions League, and I'd like to see exactly how well he did do. Maybe I'm overrating a little bit. Maybe he didn't have as good of a season in the Champions League as I thought on first look, but I really want to take a deep dive into the stats and find the places we need just that slight improvement in, because that slight improvement might be all we need. In terms of the Champions League final, Liverpool obviously did beat us to get there. They took on Manchester United, and Liverpool did win it. And it was actually a crazy match. 4-3 was the end result. And Liverpool were 4-0 up. Kind of like the game versus us. They got a big lead, and then the other team started to come back. But they held on in the end. Fabinho scored a goal in the 28th minute, and then Haaland proceeded to get a hat trick. But then starting in the 69th minute, Man United started scoring. Adeyemi. Rashford in the 77th minute brought them one goal away from, again, possibly sitting it to extra time and penalties. But Liverpool held on, and they won the Champions League. In terms of the league, we did play one game. Obviously, it didn't matter because our position was already guaranteed. Completely rotated, beat Morin still 2-0. Tomas getting a goal in the second minute, and then nothing happened for the rest of the game. And then Ugarte scored in the 90th to seal it. So good to see some backups stepping up. And it was actually kind of frustrating, though, because we did end up 1 point behind Benfica because they actually lost on the final day. They couldn't lose when we needed them to, but after they'd secured the title, I can kind of understand it. I'm sure they played a backup squad just like we did. They didn't really care. It didn't mean anything for them, but they did lose the last game, and so we end up 1 point behind Benfica. If we would have drawn on points, though, I think they would have had the advantage, but still, so close to winning the league for a third straight season, but we couldn't get it done. But ultimately, it's a pretty good season. Semi-final of the Champions League, right up there in the league, and in the Taca de Portugal final. We won the Allianz Cup. We won the Super Taca. So it was a successful season. And now we want to top it off with a win against Benfica in the final. Kind of get a little bit of revenge on them for beating us to the league title. And we do have pretty much everyone available. Matheus Nunes is back. I wasn't sure he'd be back for this match, but he did get back in time. He's only recommended 45 minutes, but it's the last game of the season. So I'm going to play him until he needs to come off, basically. Other than that, it's the expected lineup. Sorloth and Sesko up top, Tabata in behind, and normal back line. Made a similar change to the bench as I did for the last game. I put Vinagre on there. I actually took Bragança off. Everyone's pretty much fit except for Dario Sugo, who wouldn't have made it anyways, but ultimately, I decided Vinagre actually in his last 4 matches has a goal, an assist every single match that he's played. So I still think it's a little bit too much to start him because Bergman Johansson's been so good for us. But I think he's going to be a lot bigger game changer off the bench than than Daniel Bragança will be. So he's going to be on the bench. Ugarte is going to be an option off the bench. Obviously he's a decent finisher. He can bring something that Matheus Nunes might necessarily not. Santos on the bench. DK, the ultimate super sub, on the bench. But ultimately, I want to win this. Obviously, in terms of the save, it doesn't really mean much. We've already won it. We've achieved that goal. But since we're playing Benfica and they beat us to the league, I want to get a little bit of revenge. And so I'd really like to win this match. Obviously, we have nothing else to prepare for, so we might as well go, hell to leather, try to win this. So we're going for it. terms of instructions, I don't think I'm really going to change anything. I think, the way we play, we we have been able to play this way and put a pretty good result against Benfica before. So I don't think we necessarily need to change much. I'm still keeping that throw it long on there. I think it makes a lot of sense with Hugo Sousa in goal and looking to kind of counterattack a little bit more often than not. So I might get stuck in. That might be the only change I make just because, if they get suspended, who cares? So I am going to get stuck in. Other than that, it's the expected team. It's the expected tactic. Let's get one over on Benfica. This is a day for the supporters as much as anyone else. Let's go give them a memory that lasts a lifetime. This is a competition I always want to win. But going against Benfica, after the season we just had, a win would be even sweeter. I'm sure you're as frustrated and annoyed as I am that they were able to beat us to the league title. So let's go out there and get some revenge. They've won enough silverware. Let's end this season on a high. A number of people would agree that your win over Maritimo was the highlight of your run to the final. Is that something you also believe? We've had to play well at every stage in order to be here right now. To say one match is more important than another ignores the true brilliance of our run. This game must be one of the very biggest, and all the sporting fans are sure to be watching with high expectations. Is that making you at all anxious? The whole team is aware of what is expected of them. That has been made abundantly clear. Against Benfica, at a neutral location, Nunez and Vinicius up top for them, playing a 5 at the back. I don't know if they've actually played this very often against us. But, I'm sure they're probably good at it. We're playing our normal 4-1-2-1-2. Full team. Sorloth and Sesko coming off of a fantastic season up top together. Hopefully we can, put a period on the end of this season and end on a high, win this competition, and put Benfica in their place a little bit. The first highlight's going to be with us down this right-hand side from a throw-in. Pedro Gonçalves on the edge of the area. He started off the season so well. Nunez hits the crossbar. But Pedro Gonçalves started off the season so well. He had such a poor season last year. From start to finish, really. And with the way he started this season, I thought he was going to have a great bounce-back season. But at the end of the season, he's kind of trailed off again. A little bit frustrating. If he could be more consistent, he could definitely be a huge impact player for us. We kind of need him to be a goal threat. We've got 2 good goal scorers up top, but from that third spot, Tabata's more of a playmaker, more of an assister. I'd like to see Gonçalves getting a few more goals, and he could be an area we need to improve in the next season, and I'm pretty sure that's in the box. Was that Pedro Gonçalves that brought him down as well? Criticizing him all this time, and then he just gives away a penalty. If you're going to lose to Benfica, at least make them earn it. Don't give them free goals. It's going to be a penalty. Pedro Gonçalves, I'm pretty sure, is the one that took him down. Hugo Sousa, this is your moment. We need a big save here. Can't quite get there. It's a good finish. Into the corner. Sousa dove the right way, but couldn't quite get there. Vinicius' 19th goal of the season, and 20 minutes in, Benfica have the advantage. In terms of how the game has gone, though, I haven't really had time to really look at the stats. It's been pretty even. Obviously, most of their XG is that penalty. So, yeah, it's kind of frustrating. They haven't really done a whole lot, and we just gave them the lead. I don't think we're ever going to score a direct free kick. Literally ever. I don't think we have a single direct free kick goal my entire time here. Feels like we've come close a lot, but we can just never beat the goalkeeper. Can't win that header from the corner either, and it's going to go into further time. We really need to take advantage of the fact we've been in this game. We've not been dominated by Benfica. We've been in this game. We're not getting nearly enough shots on target, though. Going forward, we've not been good enough. We've not created any great chances. Of course, their clear-cut chance was the penalty. I don't know. I don't think we've been the better team, but neither have they. We've just handed them a goal, and you cannot do that against a club with that ability. I'm disappointed. We absolutely cannot be losing like that to our rivals. Go out there and turn this around. Benfica are a good enough team. You don't need to help them. They didn't do much in that first half. But they got a penalty and they put it away. And that is the difference. We cannot be making mistakes like that. Our mistakes might cost us. We've not been good enough either, though. Especially going forward. We've not created nearly enough good chances. And our shooting has been extremely poor. You're going to have to put together a very good second half. Otherwise, nobody's going to be happy with how we ended this season. First highlight's going to be a throw-in deep in our own area. Polina back to Bergman Johannesson. I'd like to see us create something decent. We haven't really done anything going forward. We know we can. That is a terrible pass by Matheus Nunes. Vinicius threw on goal, but a good save by Hugo Souza. It's our own freaking mistakes that are costing us. They're not doing anything. We're just handing them chances. And it's going to cost us because they're not likely to make those kind of mistakes. They're good enough to not make those mistakes. We should be too, but we're not. 57 minutes, almost in time for us to make some changes because this has not been good enough. Okay, never mind. Sesko, headed goal. Bergman Johansson gets the assist. All it takes is one moment of brilliance, and we're back in it. I don't know if I can really say we've deserved it because we've not been good. But when you've got Bergman Johansson's got as good of crossing as he does, and the aerial threat you've got up top, that can always happen out of the blue. We kind of needed more of that against Liverpool, but we got it here at least against Benfica. But we need more. We've really kicked things up a little bit recently. We're getting quite a few shots, a few more shots on target. Still not quite enough. Our XG's not great, but this match is kind of running out. Nothing's really happening. I do think I need to make changes. In terms of performances, Nunez has come in and been pretty awful. He is just coming back from that injury. He's not really fit, so I might just take him out. Unfortunately, I don't feel like we really have much of a game changer. I think the best option would be moving Bergman Johansson there and bringing on Vinagre. But, I don't know, it doesn't feel like the right move considering Bergman Johansson just got an assist playing down that wing. Seems to be doing really well playing down that wing. I don't know if I should really change it up. So I don't think I'm actually going to make that change. If we do go behind, I might eventually make it, but I think I'm going to bring in Ugarte to play that box-to-box. Get rid of Matheus Nunes. Tabata could be making a departure sooner rather than later. Same for Sorloth. We've got Dike on the bench. I'm heavily considering being on Dike right now. We know he can make an impact, and Sorloth has not had a great game. But he's been really good this season, which is the only thing that gives me any hesitancy, because we know he can be really good. But I kind of also want to save that sub because we don't have any other strikers, and if we desperately need a goal, if they do score, with this team, I like to go 3 up top. I think it provides a lot of threats, so taking off a striker at this point and bring on Dike, I'm not going to make the change. I'll wait a little bit. In terms of mentality or anything like that, I don't think I want to change anything. We just need to be better. 85th minute. I've actually been sitting here a while trying to decide the right decision to make. This is an extremely pivotal point of the match. We do go to extra time if scores are level after 90 minutes, but we've got a little bit of time left to get the winner, and I don't want to send this to extra time. So I think what I've ultimately decided to do, I still think I want to keep that option to have 3 up top in case we go down. So even though Tabata has been terrible, Santos could be a game changer for us off the bench. He has been before. It does mean I would love to bring in Ruben Vinagre, but I just don't see a move that makes a lot of sense. I think Santos is as much of a game changer as Vinagre can be. So moving Bergman Johansson to attack midfield or something and bring in Vinagre, I want to keep Bergman Johansson on the wing. He's played really well there today, so I don't really want to change that. So we're just going to make that one change, and hopefully we can get another highlight for the end of the match, and hopefully it's for us. We know we love conceding late goals, so hopefully that's not going to be the case again. 2 minutes left of added time. It looks like we're going to extra time, and we are. That second half, we were the better team. Not significantly. We were the better team in both halves. More shots in both halves. Better average rating, pretty considerably, actually. Everything else has been, it's been pretty even. 3 half chances, though. They do have 1 clear-cut chance, but that was their penalty. So we have created more. We probably should be doing better. XGs would be pretty similar if it wasn't for that penalty, though. So, yeah, it's a very tightly contested match. Hard to expect much different, but hopefully we can get it done in this extra time. I am going to keep the option. I don't think we get an extra sub, which kind of sucks. But I have a good feeling at some point DK is coming onto this pitch. Keep working hard in extra time, and you'll be rewarded. Don't let this effort be for nothing. I thought you were a little bit better in that second half, which is good to see, but a little bit better is still not good enough against the likes of Benfica. They want this as much as we do. We're going to have to be even better in extra time. We had some chances to win it in that second half, and we didn't take them. Let's do that in extra time, because I don't want this to go to the lottery of penalties. Let's go out there and just win this thing. Looks like we're going through the entire first period of extra time with no highlights. I don't know if Benfica's actually had a shot in that extra time so far. We've had a few, and I don't think it's actually going to show. It doesn't include extra time shots, but I know we've had a few shots. A few on target as well. So we've been the better team in extra time, but still not good enough. I don't know what changes I make. I mean, if I'm going to make the change to bring on DK, it's kind of now or never. Let's start second half, and then let's get to the tactics screen. It feels risky to go 3 up top, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go 3 up top, but Sorloth has gotten a lot better in extra time, so I mean, keeping on there seems to be the right decision because he has improved, but in terms of that last little bit of extra quality to get us the win, I don't know what change I make. I still think it's too risky to go 3 up top. We can't be that desperate. I mean, we've got a penalty shootout to possibly win it. But I do want to bring DK in because he is a good penalty taker as well. I mean, better than Sesko, but taking Sesko off does seem a little crazy. Sesko, what are his penalties? 11, so he's not great. Santos only a 9, but he just came on. Like, neither any striker be able to play anywhere but striker. Sorloth, I think, can play on the wing a little bit. Right wing slightly. DK, I don't think can play anywhere else. I don't know. The change isn't obvious. DK is the obvious sub, but where to bring him in is not obvious. Sorloth, must have had a pretty good extra time because he was like at a 6.6 going into extra time. Vinagre, another game changer we could bring on with Bergman Johannesson, has played very well. Gonzalez, it's tough to take him off as well. He's not the best penalty taker, but we know if he gets a chance, he can take it. How good is Vinagre as a penalty taker? 10. He's a little bit better than Gonzalez. DK's penalty taking isn't amazing. It's only 12. But we don't have great penalty takers here. I don't even want to leave it late and put 3 strikers on at the very end because we saw what happens when we go a little bit too attacking late in the match. We seem to always concede. So I don't think even though I don't want this to go to penalties, I'm not going to go super aggressive. I so want to bring DK on. I just don't know how to do it. I don't think I'm going to bring DK on. It might be the wrong call. And he could come in for Sorloth. Sorloth is a better penalty taker. He could come in for Sesko. But Sesko does have that goal. I think I'm going to actually take off Gonzalez. Not the greatest penalty taker. Not had a great game. Not had a great end of the season. Bergman Johannesson, I think, can do some things at that Mazzala role. And I can bring in Vinagre. Fresh legs down that wing could be a difference for us. I'm actually going to switch him and Ugarte as well. I'm still going to play with Mazzala attack, but he's left-footed, so I want him actually on that left foot out here. Ugarte right-footed, so I think that makes more sense. I'm going to put Aguilar on wing-back attack, and I think those are the only changes I'm going to make. DK is not going to get introduced, which could be a mistake, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I want to stay strong defensively. I just desperately don't want to concede late again. All right. I'm not going to change anything else. Do I prevent short goalkeeper distribution? Who do they have up top? Let me check that. Because I think they made some subs. Jeremy Boga, who's not particularly big, 5'9". And Vinicius, I think, is decently... Yeah, he's actually huge. So I don't think I'm going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I'm going to make those changes. Those are the only changes I'm going to make. Now we see the game out. If it gets to penalties, it gets to penalties. But hopefully we can win this. I don't know if this is actual highlight or if just because I just made changes. But I'm going to commentate it nonetheless. Ronaldo on the ball. Benfica looking to attack. I think that's Pablo Mari, the ex-Arsenal player. Savage looking for Wage. Pressing pretty high up. I think he's playing fullback still, I'm assuming, but Not a good through ball. I'm pretty sure that's just a nothing highlight just because I made changes. Unless something happens from here, we're going to see the goal kick still. Sorloth's not going to compete for it, though. Todd brings it down. Wage, Gald, former Sporting player, by the way, Ryan Gald. Jean Mario. Gedson Fernandez is through on goal to win it. Huge save by Hugo Souza. Huge save. Absolute must-have because I don't know if we would have been able to get another goal if they took the lead there. Looks like it's going to go to penalties. The last highlight. 5 seconds left. I doubt it's going to be anything. It's going to be an end-of-game highlight, but Sorloth to win it! Let's go! In the last second. No time left on the clock. I decided not to bring on DK, and it's Sesko, combining with Sorloth to win it. Crazy. The decision ended up being correct, but what a finish by Alexander Sorloth. What a stud he has been for us. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any time left for them to do anything, but I'm still going defensive nonetheless. Wingbacks on defend. Bergman Johannessen's going to go to like a deep line playmaker defend, I think. He can do that role, just fine. We're going to go cautious. We're going to waste time. Stop hitting early crosses. Stop distributing it quickly. And yeah, use tighter marking. Because if they're going to have any chances, it's probably going to be from the edge of the box. And I don't want to give them easy looks from the edge of the box. I doubt they have time to do anything, though. I think we're going to win this. And they don't have time to do anything. We have won the Taca de Portugal over Benfica in the last second to win this competition back-to-back years. I would have preferred a more dominating game, but you know what? I'll take it. To beat Benfica feels pretty good. They just barely beat us to the title, but we one-up them here in the last second. That's got to be gutting if you're a Benfica fan. That's just kind of what I expected to happen to us. It's happened so often, these last-second goals. But this time, it's us scoring the goal. We end the season on a pretty high note. Obviously, the last couple of games we saw was us losing in the Champions League and us not being able to win. Well, we did win, but us not getting the results we needed to have a chance of winning the league. But we end it with a Taca de Portugal final. And I would say it's deserved. They had better XG, but they had less shots on target. A lot of that XG is the penalty. Their only goal was a penalty. So, 4 half chances. They actually had a few half chances there towards the end of that match, but average rating-wise, we were much better. Unfortunately, the changes I made didn't really seem to make much of an impact. Moving Bergman Johansson in the middle, bringing on Ugarte, bringing on Santos, none of them really did anything. But ultimately, it was the change I didn't make. Not bringing on DK. Keeping trust in Sorloth and Sesko up top to make it happen. And they did. What an end of the season. People are going to talk about that comeback for a while. And rightly so. Very well done. I'm so proud of the fight you showed. Not just today, but on the season as a whole. Things didn't always go our way. But we never gave up. In that extra time period, it looked destined to go to penalties. But you kept working. Benfica switched off for 1 second, and you took advantage of it and ended the game. Very well done. I am proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations, Ryan. How pleased are you winning the Taca de Portugal? I'm pleased. So many people have played a big role in getting to this point, and they deserve these moments. You've been on a good run lately, but that was something else. I'm happy the way we're playing, and more results like this will be very welcome. Last second, 122nd minute, Alexander Sorloth. When we signed him, we weren't sure what he was going to bring. He hadn't played a lot of football over the past couple of years. But when he did, he seemed to always produce. And so, I felt the risk was worth taking. I did a pretty incentivized deal. And he's lived up to the billing. He's had a fantastic season for us. And to put the cherry on top, he wins us the Taca de Portugal. We win the treble, not the ideal treble you'd like to win, the Taca de Portugal, the Allianz Cup, and the Super Taca, for the league in there, preferably the Champions League, but decent treble. I entered the Portugal Hall of Fame. Okay. The board are delighted. The board are delighted. Back-to-back Taca de Portugal winners. Sorloth gets man of the match. 3 key headers. 17 headers won. That's kind of ridiculous. He gets the goal, though. That goal was just the biggest of the season. And not only that, it's not like that was just like a one-off thing. Like he scored, a goal late in that Liverpool match to give us a chance to win it. He's really stepped up at the end of the season. Like I said, I'm going to go through the stats and the data hub in the next episode. I really want to take an in-depth look at that. But we will do the end-of-season review. And I'll, advance a couple days, wait till that comes in. And we'll go through that and then end our 3rd full season here at Sporting. So it is time for the end-of-the-season review. We won 3 trophies. Our first full season here, we won 1 trophy. Our second season, we won 2. This season, we won 3. Quadruple incoming? Apparently. Let's look at the new arrivals. None better than Alexander Sorloth. 37 starts, 5 sub-appearances, 22 goals, and 10 assists. I've said it before. He is what I thought that Gareth Bale would be. He could definitely bang in some goals for us, but he could be, a creative player that could, help the team produce goals, and he did that. 7.53 average rating. The surprise signing of the season probably is Daryl Dike, though. The board are very happy with him. 23 starts, 16 sub-appearances, 19 goals, and 6 assists. 19 goals and 23 starts. That's pretty crazy. Ruan, another kind of risk I took at center back. I didn't think he was a massive upgrade, but I did think he was an upgrade, and he proved it. 7.22 on the season, played 44 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists, maybe like a little bit more than that, but he's not a dominant aerial presence, and not a guy we really aim for either. So, Eric Dyer, their other signing, never intended to be like a huge starter, big part of the team, but you know what? He was a solid force at the back. He had the ability to play right back for us, center back for us, defensive midfielder for us. Gave us the best depth we've had at defensive midfield since my time here. So, for the outlay he had, bringing him back to the club where he started his career, I'm still very happy with that signing. The transfer's out. Ribeiro played 42 times for Rayo Vallecano, but he was just never going to play for us. No one else really of note left other than, Douglas Costa didn't have the best season was in it. Only made 3 starts. Plata got left on a free to Nuremberg. Was okay for them. Ditta, our biggest sale of the period really, actually our second biggest. $11 million, 18 starts for Independiente, and I'm guessing that's Colombia. 6.81 average rating, not the best. Don't think we really missed him. Once we got Ruan, we didn't need him. Absher, our biggest sale, $18 million to Fulham, and he made 2 starts. 6.73. His contract was coming to an end. Definitely the right decision to make. So I think we did well in terms of transfers this season. Only loaned out Lewis Nielsen. Played a lot for Aruca. I believe they're in the 2nd division. Did not play well, though. And, he might be a player that gets, in and around the first team sooner rather than later. So I'd like to see him put in some better performances. He's got some good versatility, being able to play right back and center back. Season's results in the league, they want us to qualify for the Champions League. So they didn't necessarily want us to win it, but we did qualify for the Champions League. It ended up only being the top 2 spots, and we got 2nd. Sorloth, the top goal scorer in the league, 16 goals. The board are delighted that we challenged for the Liga Portugal, not just finished in the Champions League, but challenged for the title. If you look at the results, that's a pretty good end of the season. Obviously, to lose to Porto. Didn't we also lose to Benfica? Wait. We lost to Benfica late in the season, right? Because that's what kind of screwed us over. I'm super confused. Whatever. But, yeah, middle of the season, not the best. Kind of slowed. Yeah, this run here really hurt us. But we still gave them a good challenge. And for the Champions League, they just wanted to reach the first knockout round. So to get to the semifinal is a massive accomplishment. Sesko, the top goal scorer in the top competition with 10 goals. Our run there was not easy, though. We had we had Milan and Zenit and Stade Rennais in our group. Not an easy group, but we beat Zenit 7-2. Beat Inter Milan 3-0, and finished top of the group for a 2nd straight year. But even our run-in to the semifinal was not easy. Leipzig and Dortmund are both very good teams in Germany, and we were able to get past both of them. And it only took Liverpool beating us. We did get the draw there. It says a loss there, but we did draw our first point against Liverpool. Hopefully we get a little bit easier draw, and if we can get to the semifinal again, hopefully we don't have to face Liverpool again, because they're just freaking too good. The Taca de Portugal, they want us to reach the final, and we did. And we went ahead and won it. Tomas, our top goal scorer, 5 goals. Not the hardest run into the competition. No big teams really in there until we got to Benfica, but we beat Benfica. So that's never easy. The Allianz Cup, they didn't care. I didn't really either, but we still won it. So look at the top goal scorer to see how little I cared about this competition. Again, no huge teams in there, but all first division teams. So, we did pretty well to get through there. And the Super Taca, they didn't care about that either. Again, neither did I. Sesko did play, though, and he got a goal. We did win it over Morin's. So it's a pretty good season. Obviously, it's frustrating to not win the league, but we were very close. To get to the semifinal was awesome. And to win the other 3 competitions we were in, it was ultimately a pretty good season. Moments to remember: our biggest win, that 7-2 over Zenit was pretty crazy. Our match to remember is the 3-0 over Rennes. And the goal of the season was that Joao Corral goal that I showed, that free kick in the Allianz Cup. I'm not going to show it again because we already saw it once. But, that was a hell of a goal. The region getting goal of the season for us. Reputation has not changed. It's kind of surprising considering we got to the semifinal. Sponsorship money actually went down by $3 million. Broadcast revenue went down a little bit as well. Corporate and hospitality went up. Competition prize money obviously went up, getting to the semifinal. And commercial retail went up a little bit. $4.3 million in merchandise sales. 25,000 shirts sold. Tabata, the top selling shirt. That's kind of surprising. Nunez on there. Sesko on there. Gonzalez on there. And Sorloth on there. None of those super surprising. Tabata being the highest sold is pretty surprising. But those are kind of the guys I would expect. Maybe João Paulinho over a guy like Matheus Nunez. He's the club captain. But makes sense. How he lined up, see if this is actually correct. Sorloth, Sesko, Tabata. Ugarte actually gets in there over Matheus Nunez. Yeah, when he played there, he never really played that deep-lying playmaker role. And that deep-lying playmaker role doesn't get the best ratings, like the defensive midfielder role. So I think Paulinho to get nearly a 7 is a good result for him. I thought Nunez was fine. Gonzalez, 7.1 on the season, which is pretty good, but had a pretty slow end of the season. Backline to be expected, Hugo Souza and net. Ends up with a 6.98. We'll look deeper at his stats next episode. The accolades. I won the Portuguese Manager of the Year, and I won Manager of the Month quite often. Our Player of the Season was Alexander Sorloth. Not super surprising. Young Player of the Season was Benjamin Sesko. Signing of the Season, Sorloth. Yeah, he's the Player of the Season. He probably should also be the Signing of the Season. Our top goal scorer was Sesko with 26 goals. Top assister for the 3rd straight year is Bruno Tabata with 16 assists. That first year he played on the wings and he still led us an assist. And since then he's been moved to attacking midfield and he's not slowed up at all. He's been great at that position as well. Most player of the matches, Sorloth with 9. Highest average rating, Sesko with the 7.6. Passes complete per 90, Daniel Bragança. Only record is our youngest goal scorer, which is Joao Corral, just past 17 years old. Sporting started better than anyone expected and continued in that vein, storming all the way to such an impressive finish. We owe everything to a fantastic start to the season. That kick-started the most unlikely of journeys. I don't know about that, but we did start the season pretty well. We were right up there at the top of the league for most of the time to start the season, and just kind of had that little bit of a lull that Benfica took advantage of. Overall best 11, Tabata in there, Gonzalez in there, Abashir actually in there. That's very surprising considering he's never been a starter. So I really don't know why he's in there. Sesko, they're still going with the first formation we kind of played, that 4-2-3-1 kind of one, but eventually this will move to the diamond, I'm sure. Sesko up top, Ugarte, and again another guy that's never really been a starter. Matheus Nunez not in there, but Ugarte is. Okay. Bregman Johannesson, Caceres, Inacio, Aguilar, and Adon. I miss Adon. He was so good. Substitutes, Hugo Souza gets in there. Segovia, Escaio, Santos, Nunez, Bragança, and Tomas. So, no Sorloth, actually. He's only been here 1 year, but I'd expect him to kind of get close based on the year he just had. Season review we just saw. Expectations, they want us to play attacking football. Not necessarily what we do, but it's not the opposite. Again, they just want us to qualify for the Champions League. And again, they just want us to reach the first knockout round. So, should be doable. Champions League is not going to be easy because it is only the top 2. Porto are still really good, but I'll accept that vision. I don't think there's much else to really Trincao player we almost signed at one point. He's actually went to Watford, which is kind of weird, but he hasn't really developed into the kind of player you would expect. He's pretty good, but he's not kind of the elite talent you would expect after going to Barcelona. Eredivisie Golden Boot, Gakpo, another guy we've kept an eye on. Onana second in the Golden Boot. I'm just going to go on a limb and say I don't think that's the case. He got exactly 0 goals, so I don't know why he's in the top boot. A little bit of a glitch there. Storloff gets the top goal scorer for the league. That's good to see. We've actually never had a top goal scorer. Actually, no, Tomas was one year. So Storloff gets top goal scorer this year in his first year at the club. He was definitely a success. Portuguese Cup top goal scorer was Tiago Tomas with 5 goals and 4 appearances. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. There's no games left, obviously, in the season. We're at the end of the season. We've got a pretty important offseason to prepare for because we're close. But we definitely need some improvements. And we'll find out exactly where we need to improve in the next episode. I'll see you then. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you next time.